Welcome back. So, for our followers, that'll be coming up soon. So, today I'm going to talk about teenage driving. Our son got his license a few days ago, and it's a whole new world for us. We got estimates from 9 different insurance companies, and insurance was amazingly how high it is. We ended up sticking with our current company because it was the cheapest, but it's going to add almost $2,400 a year to our insurance. Now our plan is when he turns 18, after he's had his license for a year, he can get insurance in his own name and we'll put the car in his name. So we're giving him the 2007 Honda Accord that we have. It's a nice, dependable car. Pretty nice gift. I look back when I was a kid and my mom was never able to really work. My dad worked factories, so not a lot of money. And I started working at a young age, got a taste for money, even starting back at 6th grade. 6 years old, going around in the neighborhood, raking leaves, mowing grass, shoveling driveways. Then one of my neighbors owned an ice company. I went to work for him at age 12 and worked for him through high school till I started in the grocery business. So I had saved up enough money to buy my first car when I was 15. And I customized it out, thought it was real cool. Then I got a second car when I was 16. Well, now I look back and I wish I would have never spent money on cars and wish I would have invested that money in stocks, but if we could only go back and talk to our 16 or 17-year-old self. So, the thing on our insurance, we have a high amount of insurance because I was talking to a friend that had a daughter, and you can hear my whole story and more stats on my podcast. It's live4.club. And it's a new podcast I have started, and I have a podcast on this subject. So, they have a daughter, she was 17, got in a car accident. She hit a motorcyclist that ran through a stop sign. He hit her, she hit him, and he died. The family of the motorcyclist sued him and his wife and daughter for like $7 million. For wrongful death, homicide, or whatever you want to call it. Well, that would have just ruined them financially. There was no witnesses to the accident, so it was her word against the motorcyclist who was passed away. So they had to get investigators. It went to court. It was a drawn-out thing, and they finally found that the motorcyclist did run that stop sign, and they weren't at fault. But that could have ruined them financially. So that's what is scary for us as a parent. I remember Darlene, the first day that Logan drove the car to work, she stayed up late waiting for him to get home and was nervous the whole time, from the time he pulled out of the driveway to the time he pulled back in the driveway. And Logan is a very responsible young man, smart. He doesn't have any desires to go out cruising. I was just talking to a neighbor this morning, back when we were 16, we were out cruising in our cars. That's what we did for fun. Now, he told me his kids, with their insurance, they have to pay some of their insurance costs. And then if they get a speeding ticket or accident, like his one daughter did, and their insurance jumped way high, she has to pay that extra amount for the insurance. Darlene and myself are starting out with offering the boys, if they live at home through college, and as long as they're in college, we'll pay for the insurance at $2,400 a year. an investment in their future. But once they're not in college, they have to start paying their own car insurance. Now, I am going to talk to her when she gets home tonight about, like, the neighbors, and put that to the boys, that there will be choices and consequences if they get a speeding ticket, if they get an accident, and our insurance goes up, they're going to have to pay the difference. Also, with their kids, they stress getting good grades, so they got the good grade discount. So with Seth, our soon-to-be 14-year-old who has a passion for driving, we are stressing to him he's got to get over 3-point grade point average for good grades to get that insurance discount. Also, me and my neighbor talked about scholarships and applying for grants. All things that parents deal with their kids, trying to get them to take action to help their lives be better. I think Logan might have been fine not even getting a driver's license, but we felt he's going to be 18 soon. He needs to have a license. He's going to go to MCC, which is only 3.2 miles away from our house. He could have rode his bike. We offered to get him a moped, like a 50cc moped, which our neighbor has, and he said it works great and low insurance costs, but Logan didn't want that, and actually we probably feel safer in the long run with him in a nice, dependable car. So if something did happen. The insurance stats, there's a lot of stats, and you go to my live4.club podcast, and in the show notes, there's references on different stats on teenage driving and accidents. And I believe it said something like 1 out of 5 teenagers will get in an accident in their first year. Something like 74% of teenage deaths in car accidents was like drinking and driving and not wearing a seatbelt. So, something we stress to the boys. Hopefully they don't drink and drive. Hopefully they don't drink. Hopefully they don't smoke. Hopefully they don't cuss. But they probably, they could. Some do, some don't. But we want them to be responsible. Know there's choices and consequences for their actions. And the consequences with insurance or your license, you can lose your license or your insurance can go skyrocket. So, teenagers, like we were talking with the neighbor this morning, that entitlement thing. My wife and myself, I guess there was no entitlement there. Our parents didn't have the money to pay for the things that we wanted when we were kids, from a car to new rims to insurance. We paid for it. We worked. Now it's like when we brought up, hey Logan, we're giving you a car, we're paying for insurance, and he's like, well, I have to pay for gas? I have to pay for oil? How much is that? I got to pay for repairs if there's repairs? It's just, I know he's loving and he's caring, but the words, the way they came out, it was like, I'm entitled. You should be paying for all that. Parents, you don't have to pay for insurance. Kids don't have to drive. Kids can ride a bike. Kids can walk. We live 7/10 away from the high school. There's no reason for Seth or Logan to be driving to the high school. We don't need to get a parking permit at the high school. We don't have to have more chances for accidents. When I go for my morning walks, I've seen so many accidents up by the high school kids involved. I've seen cars flipped over. I've seen multi-car pile-ups. So there's just no reason for our teenagers to drive to high school. The main thing we want them driving, especially that first year, as they get more experience, is driving to work, driving to church, that's it. Then we can expand from there. In Arizona, to get a license is super easy, and it's sad. They can go to a driver's permit class like on a weekend at the school, and I guess it's a joke how easy it is. Then they have to drive 30 hours with the parents during the day, 10 hours at night with the parents. And then 6 months later, they can get a license. They go to the MVD department, and they take a test, a driving test, and which is pretty much a joke here in Arizona too. They drive about a mile. It seemed to take them only like 5 minutes to do. They do this parking exercise, which is not in a traditional normal width parking. It's pretty wide. And then they get their license. Then they're on the roads. So this time of year we got the snowbirds coming back from all over the country and from Canada and other areas. So we got them on the roads. Now we got teenagers on the roads on top of it. So if you look back at the stats, most accidents, the highest number of accidents per age group is like 16 to 24, the younger kids. Not to slam you younger kids, you may be good drivers, but numbers are numbers. And I'm a numbers-driven person. I know insurance companies, they're statisticians where they figure insurance rates. They take in all that to consideration too. So I'm just laying it out for parents who are thinking about whether they should let their son or daughter get a license. It's up to you. There's no right or wrong answer, but I would put together the numbers. My one neighbor in Minnesota, his kids didn't get their own license till they could afford their own car. I know they were in their 20s till they got their license. So kids don't need a license. You can ride bikes. I have a friend that would ride a bike 25 to 50 miles a day just to train for triathlons. See, kids can ride a bike. They can walk. They can jog. That's good exercise. It's better than sitting on the couch watching TV or sitting in their rooms playing Xbox. So there's nothing wrong with exercise. So if you're not in a financial situation to get your kids a car or to pay that extra insurance for letting them use your car, you may consider holding off on letting them get their driver's license. Now, I'm not giving you any financial advice, legal advice, etc. My disclaimers on my blog on millsway.com. You've known that from my past videos, but take a look at all that. And I'm not giving you insurance advice, just my tips would be make sure you bump up your insurance for medical coverage in case of accidents, because there's a big chance that there will be an accident and you want to make sure you're covered so you don't have somebody coming back with a lawsuit and trying to take any bit amount of money you have saved, whether it's $100,000 or $3 million. You don't want to lose it because, as you know, it's hard to work for that money and it's hard to save for that money. Things come up all the time. So consider all that when you're thinking about your teenagers getting their license, and let your teenagers know the costs and the choices and consequences if they do get a license, and how they drive, how good of grades do they get, etc. So hope this helps you. Be sure to check out my new podcast at live4.club. And then my normal blog is at millsway.com or patreon.com/millsway. Hope you have a good day, and any comments you have, please share them below on the video. Also, drop me an email if you'd like to be a guest on my podcast to bruce@millsway.com. Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.